Captain America Civil War is the culmination of all of the Marvel Cinematic Universe's efforts, extending way back to their origins in 2008. It's a lot of things to a lot of people. The third Captain America film, a pseudo-Avengers sequel, an adaptation of the Mark Millar story arc of the same name, the introduction of a new Spider-Man, someone finally punching the smirk right off Tony Stark's smug face, and other things. Probably. This time around, the story goes that the Avengers are divided, with the introduction of a set of laws determining that their movements are to be dictated by a governing body, as opposed to them acting autonomously. Tony Stark is all about this, which is fair enough considering he's responsible for a substantial chunk of the bad things that have happened in the MCU, and Steve Rogers is against it because of old-fashioned values and I don't know, Hydra or AIM or someone else probably being behind every governmental system, just ruining everything. Each then recruit their own set of heroes and go head to head. Of course, there are other factors at play, a major one being Bucky Barnes, whose past indiscretions do nothing but extend a rift between the main players, and other things that I won't go into because of spoilers. This is a spoiler-free review. I won't even mention how Hawkeye kills the Vision. Jokes. That obviously doesn't happen. How could it? This is a man who doesn't even have sleeves most of the time. As someone who walked away not hating, but disappointed with Batman v Superman, and I only bring that up because these movies aren't entirely dissimilar, I was a bit apprehensive going into this, despite the critical acclaim that it's already received. Turns out that apprehension was unjustified, because Civil War is a good one. It's a good movie. From an action standpoint alone, it's really something to be seen. We get the gritty, ground-level, hand-to-hand stuff that we've come to expect from a Russo brothers Captain America film, but we also get one of the biggest, most fantastical sequences in any superhero movie to date. That's of course without saying specifically what it is, but believe me, you'll know it when you see it. Action, though, to me, is fairly hollow if what's at stake is nothing of consequence. With Civil War, though, the stakes have never been higher. I felt more invested than I did when those aliens visited New York, or when all those robots were flying about that rubbish city, or when Thor was having a swim, and it was real ominous, that something bad was going to happen, but I was all, what is this? What am I watching here? This is also the most I've liked Tony Stark since his first appearance in Iron Man 1. His emotions in regards to the weight and regret of his past actions have finally risen to the surface, making him a far more compelling character than the walking quip dispenser that he's just kind of devolved into. And that's what makes him such a great adversary to Captain America, who's also at his best. In fact, everyone is. All the returning characters are. And the inclusion of Black Panther and Spider-Man are very welcome additions. Without getting into it, I was done with Spider-Man. Sick of his funerals, sick of his extended dance sequences, just sick of all his shit. But I would say this is the best Peter Parker Spider-Man combination that we've gotten. Can't wait to see him again. On the flip side, a lot of this movie works because of the familiarity, the familiarness built up in the previous films, an advantage Batman v Superman didn't have. That may be seen as somewhat of a cheat in regards to what's at stake, but at the same time, it's a credit to the universe that Marvel has been building. Will this resonate with those unfamiliar with these characters? Like this is the first of these movies that someone's seen? Yeah, probably, though it's really hard for me to say. But as far as I can tell, it works well as a standalone film, but even better as a continuation of the franchise. All in all, Captain America Civil War gets a best movie ever. It's Marvel's strongest outing since Guardians of the Galaxy, for me outshining both Age of Ultron and Ant-Man. Because like the best superhero movies, it's got bigger issues at play that are handled really well that run in tandem with the punching and the flying and the laser shooting and whatever else. And hey, if you're gearing up for Civil War, we've done a commentary track for Age of Ultron that's linked below. Now you can get that through Patreon if you contribute just any amount of money, or you can purchase it as a one-off over at Bandcamp. Bear in mind, you can also just go there and hit play and listen to it for free. That's entirely up to you. I don't care, whatever. I have to ask though, if you've seen Civil War, what did you think of it? And where does it rank in terms of the Marvel movies? Also, I have a podcast called The Weekly Planet. It's out every Monday, and is also linked below. Now look, we've never won an award or anything, but it's not about that. It's about having fun. Unless we win an award, in which case, well, it's all about that then, isn't it? Alright, that'll do it. Thanks everyone. Take care.